15 races down and 1 to go in 2025. Welcome along to the Marvel Fantastic Four London Epri, the crescendo of season 11 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. It is great to have your company, 2 titles on the line. Let's guide you through the 22 drivers and how they line up on the grid. Costa right at the back, no time in qualifying for a technical problem. He brought out the red flag. Grassi has a 3-place grid penalty for impeding. Buemi's got a 5-place penalty for colliding with Nyck in the race yesterday. Sam Bird, what could possibly be his last ever race in Formula E, lines up 17th for Neon McLaren. Next up is Jake Hughes, who had technical problems in practice this morning. He's alongside the other Jake of Dennis in the Andretti. Nyck lines up P14 and John-Eric Bird in 13th position on the grid. Robin Fries, that's his best qualifying since Shanghai, and Barnard leads McLaren's charge in their final race of Formula E. The top 10 of the grid is organised like this. World champion Oliver Rowland. Nissan have struggled this weekend. He lines up P10 with his teammate Norman Nato alongside. Nato being the best placed Nissan 9th on the grid here this afternoon. Eduardo Mortara had a brake-by-wire issue in the quarter-finals, meaning he was not able to complete his lap time. He lines up P88 as a result of that. Stoffel Van Dorn, 7th on the grid for the 3rd successive start for him in London for Maserati MSG Racing. And Dan Ticktum took his first ever pole position here this afternoon, but a 5-place penalty for colliding with Mitch Evans in the race yesterday means he lines up P6. Victor Vries had his 2nd podium of 2025 here yesterday. He spearheads Mahindra's charge from 5th on the grid. The second row of the grid is occupied by Pascal Wehrlein, the season 10 champion, and Porsche, of course, aiming for the teams and the manufacturers' titles here today. Mitch Evans, a strategy mistake for the team, which is what he was ruining yesterday. 4 podiums, though, here means he's got good form. Gunther, a 2nd time starting from the front row here in London, but he's never finished on the podium here since 2021. And Nyck Cassidy, that's his 4th time starting from pole at this venue. Jaguar have won the last 4 out of 5 races. Cassidy, as I said, has won the last 3 of them as well. He is in imperious form with a fantastic lap time in qualifying.
So apparently it is not as straightforward launching with those colder tyres than when they've got the benefit of the burnout.
Yeah, we'll see. The lights are about to come on now. They've all got different electronics. Tom, let's see what happens.
Certainly will do. There is Oliver Rowland, P10 on the grid. 5 red lights are on. It's time for the conundrum in London as we go green and go racing. Good start then from Cassidy, but even better from Gunther on the inside of the front row. Here they go to the outside line in towards turn 1. Cassidy gets the whole shot, so it's the 2 Jaguars 1st and 3rd as there's a crunch of carbon fibre in the middle. Stoffel Van Dorn in some dramas as we come through turns 3, 4 and 5, and we'll burst into the daylight for the first time. De Vries there having a look on the inside. Ticktum is on the outside of Van Dorn for 5th position there as well. Now switches to the inside line as we come into the bottleneck section, and they're all threading the eye of a needle through there, but amazingly, unlike yesterday, they've all made it pretty cleanly through.
It all seemed actually pretty slow after the first corner, and a bit early for wanting to save the energy there, but anyway, it was, as we predicted, a little bit more challenging on the run to the first corner.
Mortara's in some dramas. He's dropped down to 22nd and looks to be out of the final race of the season. We saw his name dropping down the timing tower, and from 8th on the grid, it is going to be an unhappy end to the Swiss driver's race. Clearly, he was caught up in some first corner dramas. Through turn 16 we go. Now we're expecting this to be a very energy-sensitive race. Drivers lifting and coasting, backing off, trying to save energy for the right points in the race, Kieran.
Yeah, you can see at this early stage, as David said, it looks like already Cassidy's just back in the pack up. There's 2 cars there, side by side. I didn't quite see. Was it Rowland and Van Dorn? Yeah, Rowland's got ahead of him there at the final corner, as Nato's now having a look at Van Dorn as well on the run to turn 1. So the 2 Nissans making a bit of progress now. They've moved up. Nato's up 1, Rowland's up 3 places from where they started.
And Barnard trying to pick his pocket. Fright's looking for the outside line into 3 there as well. Don't think you'll be able to make anything stick on the Neon McLaren driver. On board we ride with Rowland, so 10th on the grid, up to P7 at the end of the first lap. He's made the most gains along with Jake Dennis, who's moved up from 15th on the grid into 12th position. And there is, unfortunately, Eduardo Mortara's race, which has come to a premature conclusion.
See the powertrain or gearbox, like something broke.
Yeah, never a good time.
Launch was good.
Yeah, can you get it into an orange gap, mate?
Yeah, never a good time to drop out of a race, but clearly frustrating.
Big disappointment for Mahindra, considering they've had a lot of pace here this weekend as well.
Oh, Evans having a look around the outside of Gunther.
I was just going to say, it would make sense for the Jaguar team to get their two cars running line astern. So I wonder if we'll see Mitch risk running a bit more energy now to get the pass done and then back the pack up. So I was just about to say, they're doing a great job of going 2 by 2 around a lot of these corners, but it's going to go wrong at some point, isn't it?
Yeah. Look at the team's championship as well. If the checker flag fell now, as we've got a double yellow down at turn 6, that'll be due to the carbon fibre, the wing that clearly is probably stricken on the circuit. Also another one at turn 4. So we could see full course yellow or a safety car then here. 3 abreast down into turn 17. Are they want to make it through? They just about do as the Vries moves up.
Just let's focus on the race. I'm on the costume.
Trying to play the long game then here is Nyck Cassidy. Track is now clear down in that first sector. But yeah, just going back to that earlier point as we see some side-by-side action here between Gunther and Pascal Wehrlein. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the attack mode strategies. Muller has now gone for his first Fantastic Four attack mode and is looking for a move on the inside there of Sam Bird down into turn 1.
Ticktum's come back on. I wonder if he had a puncture or something.
Yeah, remains to be seen. Oh, look at this, side-by-side to the wall there for Roland. He's into the wall, but he manages to keep it going. On Buemi ride with the reigning world champion, and somehow, despite all of the drama that unfolded in the space of 100 metres or so there, he manages to face in the right direction, and he's still attacking Nyck de Vries for second.
I think he made contact with de Vries's car.
Yeah, he did.
The front wing.
Natto and the Neil McLaren of Taylor Barnard in some bother and out of the race. That's going to bring out the safety car if they can't get it going. And all the drivers that are in attack mode, so Roland, Gunther, Vern, Maloney and Natto, are going to be in some bother.
That's the most dangerous thing I've ever seen.
Well, we've seen some robust defending from Nyck de Vries before. Ask Jake Dennis for his opinion on that one. We'll hopefully get a replay of exactly what happened.
He's got a black and white flag for dangerous driving as Nyck de Vries. So he's been given a warning, the black and white.
Let's have a look. So we're coming over the rise. This is where the cars are going airborne through there. And de Vries on the inside. Roland, it's not a particularly massive touch, is it?
No.
But the inertia there, the speed.
In fairness,
attention everyone, we go full course yellow in 3, 2, 1, full course yellow please, full course yellow.
yeah, that's what it looked like from the nose cam when those two cars came together. In fairness to Nyck,
Sounds like the full course yellow will be coming to an end fairly soon.
Oh, and he's spun.
Full course yellow
Yeah, looks
ending
like it.
in 5, 4, 3,
We'll see what happened
2,
there.
1, green flag please.
So green flag flies, racing then does regime after that full course yellow. You can see the front wing damage here for Oliver Roland. Cassidy is going to have to make hay while the sun shines and drive like his life depends on it here, because he's got 49 seconds of attack mode, and unfortunately for him, he's not got a lot of opportunity to use the extra power at his disposal. Meanwhile, Roland has got de Vries breathing down his neck, and you can see the front wing damage is catching on the front tyre.
Tyre now. That's going to be a problem. If it gets under the tyre, that could be a problem.
What I would do on a right-hand corner is keep the barrier and pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the race that Nissan needed for their championship challenge. Barnard is also into the pits as well. So are they going to lose second place in the dying stages of the season?
Wing's gone. Report to FIA. The wing has gone, so it's not dangerous.
Well, it's not quite gone yet. The problem is he can't see that it's still hanging on, because the drivers can only see the top of the tyre.
Which should be highly unlikely.
Well, that could be pretty detrimental to their championship challenge in the team's championship. Roland defending pretty aggressively here from de Vries, but the door's open on the inside down into the first corner. These two have got a fair bit of history from about 5 minutes or so ago. De Vries decisively goes up into second.
Yeah, I think that was an aggressive defend, frustration, and what he felt was an aggressive defend as well from de Vries early on in the race.
His daughter here watching on. We heard her on the team radio in Berlin a fortnight ago inside the Mahindra garage. They would love to sign off with their first win since 2021. Actually here in London as well, when Alex Lynn took a victory on that occasion. But Cassidy, 2 seconds now the gap between himself and de Vries. It's important for de Vries to get track position, because 30 seconds of attack mode left. He needs to try and close that gap down as much as he possibly can. Evans, meanwhile, has a half look on the inside of Roland into turn 16 and has another look into 17. The door shut very late there from Roland. The gap was always going to disappear, and Evans thankfully backs out of it to avoid any drama. Deployments remaining. Let's see though what the difference is in speed here with Muller coming down to the end of his attack mode, makes the move on Roland, but he's up the inside again. Is Roland into turn 1? He's nearly into the barrier. Face of carbon fibre. The front wind's gone. Roland is out of the final race of the season in dramatic style, and Nico Muller looks like he's not going to be going much further there either. What a disappointing end to the World Champions race. A double yellow down at turn 1 and turn 3. If that car can't be recovered quickly, we'll get another safety car as well.
And that makes Porsche the team's champions.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Meanwhile, speaking of Porsche, Wehrlein putting one over on Mitch Evans, or trying to, into the chicane. Nothing doing for him there at the moment. Gunther in attack mode behind. Likewise, Jake Dennis, who cycled his way through, but there's the safety car, and that means anybody who's in attack mode is going to be not particularly pleased.
Oh, has he hurt his hand? I hope not.
Well, they put a new damper in that to stop the kickback, to hopefully not cause too much damage, because we saw problems for Sam Bird and Robin Vries before that.
Muller's out as well. Yeah.
It's been like a street fight.
He went for a fairly desperate lunge there, wasn't it, Roland, trying to hang on, and he was just going wide. I'm afraid Muller was somewhat the innocent victim in that, I think.
He got away.
Well, then we'll be in at the end of this lap. It's peeled off, and Cassidy there, 2% more energy actually than Nyck de Vries, so slightly more. He's done a good job of saving in the first half of this race. Let's see if he can put it to good use. Confirmation there of that 5-second time penalty for Mitch Evans for overspeeding under the safety car. Into the final couple of corners we go. The green flag will fly, and we'll get racing back underway.
You know how Jaguar can play this?
Tell me.
Well, Evans can go attack early on, get ahead of de Vries,
track position,
swap them up, get Cassidy to make the 5-second gap, and, you know, the job's good.
Yeah. Let's see whether that works out in his favour. Team radio.
So 1.5% up on de Vries, 1.5% up on Mitch.
Be a great amount of team strategy to work together. Let's see whether Evans can do anything to move ahead of Nyck de Vries. So the two Jaguars, first and third at the moment. Gunther there in 5th place, keeping an eye on Pascal Wehrlein as well, out of turn 9. And on the long straight down in towards the Custom House chicane, you can see confirmation of the team's championship, which would elevate Jaguar up into 2nd. Porsche would be crowned as the team's champions, though, after this season. Side-by-side action there with the Lola as well. That was Zane Maloney making a move on to Costa, trying to at least.
Yeah, I mean, this have had a shocker, haven't they? I mean, the trouble for Jags in the team's championship is...
Here we go.
See Evans.
Lunge to the inside,
right.
That's 17. So now it's Jaguars 1-2. How are they going to play this one on the pit wall?
I'm telling you, get the swap done, make the gap.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it'll be quite tricky to tell Nyck he's got to give up a win. Not sure how that'll go down.
Well, let's wait and see what happens. Of course, Nyck Cassidy leaving Jaguar at the end of this weekend. So how much loyalty is there going to be there? He's a big team player, is Nyck, and he's always been about the team results. Let's see whether the two drivers will work together. I wonder if they're going to use it in the reverse of that and try and use Evans to back up the pack and build that gap there for Cassidy so that he can take his final attack mode and not lose track position.
Yeah, everything's possible. But I think the other thing is, in the Drivers' Championship, if it finishes in this order...
What's happened here for Lucas Di Grassi? P13 he was on the road, and he's had a bit of contact. This is Antonio Felix da Costa, who we're on board with, into turn 9. Front wing damage for him. This is what I think we saw on the back straight. That may have caused the slippery surface flag to come out with a bit of carbon fibre, and that unfortunately is Sam Bird's race coming to an end there as well, as we look at Di Grassi's front wing exiting stage right. Meanwhile, Dan Ticktum, 5-second penalty for a safety car infraction. So despite the pole position and the P6 start, it has not been a brilliant end to the race for the British driver. Indeed, a lot of British drivers suffering misfortune today.
Okay, Mitch, we have a 5-second penalty for full course yellow. We are fighting it.
So now they tell me.
Full course yellow, overspeed.
It's not filling him with
I'm
confidence.
fighting for you, mate. I'm fighting for you.
Right, that then means the engineer's reaching out to the outgoing team principal, and he's saying, let the race be the race.
So Josep Roca, the race engineer, down at the Jaguar team, trying to fight the corner of Mitch Evans. There is the confirmation of added laps for this race, so 2 more, up to 36.
Cassidy now has a 6-second lead.
He's gone for broke, hasn't
He's
he?
taken 1.4 seconds out of Evans on the last lap.
He was 1.4 seconds faster than Evans last
That's what I
time.
just said.
Yeah. So, same targets for those 2 drivers to hit. Buemi having a sniff to the inside there of De Vries into turn 19.
They can't even see Cassidy. Cassidy's got the whole start-finish straight.
This is unbelievable. 11 seconds nearly the advantage that he's got over Mitch Evans. So this is going to cement his second place in the driver's standings. Wehrlein just has moved ahead of Grassi for 9th position there as well. And now on to the penultimate lap. So a train of cars, as we said, still behind. And you sense it's a case of when, not if, they're going to start attacking. This is the last race of the season for these drivers, and a great opportunity for a podium to round out the 16-round championship here. De Vries would love to make that 3rd, a 2nd place, especially given the fact that Evans has been struggling with pace here in the second half of this one. No way through at the moment into the Custom House chicane. Maybe into turn 16 you can think about something, but you need a strong exit out of this corner. But again, nothing doing for him right now. Wider line you can see there for Mitch Evans as well as we come through turn 16, just trying to compromise the entry of the corner to allow him a greater exit to get better traction out of that one. So we now begin the final lap. Ticktum has picked up another 5-second penalty for causing a collision as well, so his race will go from bad to worse. So believe it or not, Jake Dennis in the Andretti will be the top Porsche-powered point-scoring machine in this race. We come down the start-finish straight, though. Evans still holding firm in 2nd position there for now. Right on the back is Dan Ticktum, but as we know, he's got that time penalty that he just picked up a few moments ago. Gunther in 7th, Costa in 8th, Wehrlein in 9th, and Grassi possibly set to pick the final points position up in 10th place there as well. Once the time penalties have worked out, that might allow Nato into the points potentially, because he's not far behind Lucas Di Grassi here. So down the back straight we go for the drivers in 2nd place. But look at this one from Nyck Cassidy. It has been a phenomenal weekend's worth of racing for Jaguar TCS Racing. They've won.
I don't have a clear answer at the moment. We'll have to discuss after the race.
Well, Jaguar TCS... Jaguar had won the last 4 out of 5 races, make that the last 5 out of 6 races. Nyck Cassidy does the double at his final weekend for Jaguar TCS Racing. It's Cassidy on top here in London to complete the 2025 Formula E season. It's a 1-2 across the line for Jaguar, but it will be Nyck De Vries in 2nd. Evans will drop down to 5th place in the final classification. So De Vries in 2nd, Buemi onto the final spot of the podium in 3rd as well.
You know what it means, right? Come on, Nick, well done. You're not team and driver P2, mate. Come on. Get in. You've done it. You've done it.
P2 in the drivers and the teams championship then for Nyck Cassidy and for Jaguar TCS Racing here this afternoon. Karun, let's have a chat with him.
All right, let's try and get him there. Nyck, it's Karun up in the commentary box. Congratulations, unbelievable end to the season for you.
Thanks so much, man. That's past my wildest dreams. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, at one point you had just 1 point from the first 6 races, and you've ended 2nd in the championship. Can you believe it?
No, I can't, man. The comeback that was incredible. The second half of the season, just a huge thanks to the team, everyone who believed in me. Pretty special.
For the start of this race, knowing what it meant to get into P2 in the Drivers' Championship and help Jaguar to P2 in the Teams' Championship in his final weekend. But he manages it in spectacular style, as so often he does. Nyck Cassidy does the double here in London. Porsche, though, are the Teams' World Champions. Well, it wasn't quite the end to the season that Jaguar Porsche would have wanted. After it all worked out, Costa was classified 6th, Wehrlein in 8th after some problems. But first of all, the FIA President's Medal to be presented by Malcolm Wilson, the Deputy President for Sport for the FIA. awarded there to Nyck Cassidy. Again, looks calm, controlled, secures himself P2 in the Drivers' Championship here this afternoon, as his grandmother watches on down in Buemi. Also secures P2 for Jaguar TCS Racing, with first and fifth for both of their drivers. Jeff Dodds, the Formula E CEO, congratulates Nyck Cassidy and will hand him the winner's trophy for his final time as a Jaguar driver in Formula E. 3 in a row for Nyck Cassidy. And now time to run and take cover as the champagne shower is about to begin. The confetti flies for Cassidy here in London, as he celebrates as a winner once more.